Hello, everyone. Welcome to everyone on this panel. Very happy to have you here. So just to quickly present myself, my name is Julian. I'm a sales manager here at DataHawk, and today's panel will be about developing an effective Amazon SEO strategy. So we nailed it down to two subtopics, which will be about listing optimization and finding the most profitable keywords on Amazon. And the second one will be about impacts of ads on search engine advertising. So to talk about those two subtopics, we have two incredible speakers who are Reda and Zamir, who I'm very happy to have on the panel. So maybe I will let you present yourself, guys.
Sure. So since I'm in the middle, I can start. Thank you, Julien. Hello, everyone, and thank you for inviting me to this panel. It's a pleasure to discuss such topics as Amazon and SEO. So I'm Reda, I'm e-commerce manager at BCell, Middle East, over here based in Dubai. BCell is an expert of floor care in the floor care category, such as vacuum cleaner, carpet washer, deep cleaner, and I'm responsible for our Amazon businesses in the UAE, in the Saudi and Egypt market, from a marketing and a business standpoint. So we sell an average of 50 products. So I'm representing the brand in all Amazon platform where we are present. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Zamir Kaji. I co-founded the This Way Up project with another Amazon seller, Ali Shariat, back in 2019. I think like many Amazon sellers, I knew that there was a lot of data out there that I wasn't really utilizing. And as Amazon was becoming more complex and competitive, we wanted to get a better understanding of how we could utilize the data that was available. So myself and Al, we took our in-house teams of creative, language, advertising specialists, and then we recruited in some new skills, specifically mathematicians, economists, and consumer psychologists, with the aim to enhance our understanding of how consumers interact in the Amazon ecosystem in order to deliver a competitive advantage. And then we let them loose on our seller accounts and those of a few daring other sellers. And over the last 3 years, the project's grown to cover over 80 brands, and we've generated more than £45 million in additional revenue growth for those. And our team now works very closely with DataHawk, devouring all the data they can provide us.
Cool, great stuff. Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. So the first topic we'll be discussing about is listing optimization and finding the most profitable keywords. I think, Reda, that's your topic. So the stage is yours.
Thank you, Julien. All right, so very nice to discuss such topic. I hope the content will be insightful for those people who are willing to start a business or are already in Amazon's business or are just curious to understand how it works, right? So this is a few agenda. We'll start by why Amazon. I wanted to ask these questions: why we are focusing on Amazon today, how to succeed in Amazon in a top level, how to win with SEO in Amazon. It's very important. And here we will highlight two topics, which are the keyword optimization and the listing optimization.
Great.
Next slide, please. All right, so why Amazon? Amazon has come a long way from their beginning. If you remember them as an online bookseller when they have launched in 1994, today no one can deny their leadership position in e-commerce, that's for sure. They are physically present in more than 120 countries. They have more than 30 categories. And it is one of the first places now where shoppers turn to buy anything from cleaning product, grocery to latest technology product. We can see here from the graph their continuous growth from 2004 with more than 20% year on year, with a big jump on 2020 during COVID with 38% year on year. So then, as they are gaining market share in all categories, I assume every brand or retailer should be aware of Amazon's business now and take profit from it from now onwards. Next slide, please. Okay, so how to succeed in Amazon? Very quickly and very top level. I know we are focusing today on the content part in specific, but in top level, I wanted to highlight how to succeed on Amazon. So you should tackle these 7 pillars, as we see in the graph, such as the selection, having the right selection, listing your full selection of product and your a wide range of your catalog, optimizing your content, having the operational excellence, improving your visibility, increasing your traffic, boosting your sales, and improving, this is very important, the reviews and ratings. Next slide, please. All right, so moving to our topic today, how to win with the SEO in Amazon. So before moving forward, we need to understand how SEO is working in Amazon. They have developed their algorithm. The latest version has been released by last year, which called A10. So how A10 works. So this is an algorithm, a smart algorithm as Google is using that will rank product in the search result pages based on what? Based on 2 factors. You have the direct factors and the indirect factors. From the direct factors, you have the text match relevancy from your title, your features, your product description, your price, the sales velocity, the availability, and then you have the indirect factors such as the promotion, how you advertise the product, are you having the right A+ content? We will talk about it later. Are you using your images? How qualitative is your images? How is your rating and reviews, and your fulfillment method? So in the right side, I simulated research, which is carpet cleaner machine, which is a good example since I'm working in this sector. Next slide, please. I will just highlight what's the difference between 2 blocks in this result page. So from the top level, we have the blue square where we can see the sponsored ads. The first one, we call it sponsored brand, and I'm sure Zamir will take us through it later. And then below it, you have the sponsored product. So this is a CPC model, which is a cost per click. And then in the bottom, we have in green organic results. Why I've put it in green? Because it's a more sustainable strategy for the long term. But of course, both sponsored and organic are interconnected, and your strategy needs to combine both. Moving to the next slide, please. All right, so winning with SEO in Amazon. Now we talk deeply into about the content piece. So these are the main pillars. When we talk content SEO in Amazon, you have the product title, the product images, the reviews related to a product, the stock availability, the backend keywords, the product description, and the keyword research. All of these touch points will influence on your organic scoring and therefore your organic presence across the strategic keywords. Next slide, please. All right, so here, so in the left side, we have simulated a research which is vacuum cleaner. What is the process to optimize your keyword across your copy listing? What is copy listing? Copy listing in how you perform the content for your product, from the title, the bullet point, the description, and the A+ content. So this is the step-by-step. We start by doing a keyword research and analysis, whether by using the search bar result of Amazon that we can see in the left screen. Amazon allow you to see what's the most performed result at that time. You can take the result from it, take insight, and use it for the next step. You can use a crawler tool such as like DataHawk that give you the ability to use the estimated traffic numbers, whereby using a benchmark of your competitors' best model, picking up the best keyword they are using, or finally, you can use any Google SEO tools, because nowadays the behavior is more likely to be the same between Google and Amazon for someone who is on the awareness consideration on purchase path. So this is the first step. Once you will have a list of keywords by prioritizing them from high, mid, and low volume keywords, you move to the next step, which is you create your product listing copy. You incorporate the keyword into your product listing copy, and I, of course, I specify that you should do it strategically because you need to think SEO, but you need to think also user-friendly and having the content that is understandable. So the keyword should be integrated in the title, in the product features and the description, using again your high volume and mid volume keywords. What is high volume keyword? In this example, it would be vacuum cleaner. Vacuum cleaner is the main mother category where you have the most of your traffic and the most search queries. The mid volume keyword will be such as multi-surface, carpet cleaner, carpet washer, so on and so forth. And final step, you publish your copy listing in Amazon, but always keep an eye on your product ranking across used keywords, which is your position in the search results. And DataHawk, I'm not promoting the platform, but DataHawk is using this feature to give you the ability to understand what's your position across your strategic keyword. And of course, if there is any opportunity, don't miss to update your content. Next slide, please, Julian. All right, so what is a listing? As we said, is your title, image, bullet points, description, and your A+ content. So talking about the listing copy. Here we have highlighted the title, the carousel image, and the bullet point. Always incorporate the best targeted keyword in the title. Always use high quality images. Focus on benefits and not the feature. Think user-friendly and customer-centric. Write a detailed and accurate product description and describe how your product is solving the problem for the buyer. And studies show that having 3 to 6 images will help increase the conversion by over 30%. Next slide, please. And then here we have the A+ content, which is below your left screen. So Amazon has integrated this feature to help brand and user having more insight about the product. This is a very interesting module that can allow you to build trust with the user, increase your traffic, increase your conversion rate, having more sales and better reviews, and reducing your returns. So this is an example of one of our products as a B-sell. What my advice is, always use emotional content, create a storytelling behind your brand or your product, highlight your USPs there, and it can also give you the opportunity to support cross-selling with consumable or any other product, even also upselling. Next slide, please. All right, so here I've consolidated some quick tips and few tips starting from the title. So in the title, as we said, always include 2 to 3 priority target keywords with high search volume. In this example, we have used vacuum cleaner, B-Cell as a brand, Crosswave, which is a category of this product. Secondly, optimize your title for mobile. We always need to think today mobile friendly, right? So we know technically that your title will display only up to 80 characters, which you need to ensure that the first 80 characters are important to your product for a mobile user. Third point, don't abuse of keywords. The algorithm is smart, so you need to think smartly and play with the keywords to deliver the right message to your users. Include your brand name. This is important for brand authority and for your branded keyword scoring. Include your main USP on the title and never include any promotional message or subjective commentary such as the best product, the best vacuum cleaner on the title, or any symbols. Moving to the next slide. All right, so here moving to the images, the carousel. So the first image is the most regulated one in Amazon. It should have a complete product visible there with a pure white background. The product, we recommend it to cover more than 85% of the image screen. Use the image number 2 and 3 to show the quality of your product or the product in use, and use the 4th and 5th one to include your highest selling point and last point, which is the video. Video is very important. Always, once available, use it on your carousel. All right, coming to the bullet point. My advice is highlight here the unique USPs, your unique selling point of your product and your major competitive advantage. Discuss your product in depth and in detail, addressing any question buyers might have. And this is how you can leverage your reviews by understanding what are the main questions that are asked in your reviews that you can put in your bullet point that can help someone who is in a consideration or purchase phase to convert better and easily. Again, showcase your claims here, claims as a brand, claims as a category or product to build trust with the user.
Great. Thank you, Reda. This was very, very insightful. I think we can move on to Zamir's part. So let's talk about advertising.
All right, thank you. Yeah, take care.
Thank you very much. Maybe Zamir would have one first question for you is like, so if you optimize for organic search, do you need to advertise on Amazon?
I wish I could say no. I find things a lot more profitable if I could say no, but no, unfortunately in the word yes. And I think for our sellers, advertising has become more increasingly fundamental, even for those with significant brand awareness. I think if we go in and have a look at where Reda was pointing out that that real estate, that search results page, if we take a closer look at it,
I think you should mute yourself, Julia. Sorry.
Am I?
You're getting feedback on that.
Sorry.
That's all right. I was just going to say, so yeah, if we go in and have a look at the slides and have a look at sort of like the search results pages where Reda was pointing out, the thing that you can see here is that we're finding that organic listings are being squeezed. We've got the, if you drop down to the next slide, you'll see we've got the sponsored display ads, as Reda was pointing out, up at the top. You've got then the sponsored product ones. And if we go on to the next slide, you'll see that then coming below that, you've got the sponsored video and then another row of sponsored product ads. And what this means is there's far less space for organic listings to exist, and that gives them a lot less visibility. So for this reason, advertising is an essential part of the mix. If we move on to the next slide, advertising fundamentally is about visibility. All the points that Reda has made regarding sort of like SEO, those are crucial and critical to solid advertising as well. Fundamentally, advertising drives traffic to the page, but everything he was talking about was optimizing it really for the customer and the consumer to then convert, because rates of sale, as he pointed out, is a crucial part of the A10 algorithm. And so really advertising is there to, or should be there to stimulate organic results by increasing rate of sale. That's fundamentally what you should, if you're doing advertising well, that's what you should be using it for, to stimulate your organic search results.
And so what mistake do you see the most often when brands advertise on Amazon?
I think there are a number of points, and it's probably a lot of it comes from this misunderstanding as to what advertising is for. A lot of them kind of really focus in on one of the big things, I guess, is like, okay, my organic sales are delivering this much profitability. My advertising sales are hardly giving me any profitability. What if I just cut out all that those advertising sales, and I'll just switch off my advertising and rely on my organic ones? Unfortunately, that doesn't work because of what we just discussed there before. If we move down to the next slide, one of the key things that I suppose the flip side on this is going the other extreme. We see it as like using advertising as a crutch. And I think that many of our sellers can relate to this, because sometimes when we're really struggling to get positions organically, I think we've all done this at some point where we're like consistently relying on the advertising to deliver the traffic because we're not getting the organic positioning. And if listings are failing to perform organically, you're going to struggle to remain profitable now on Amazon more than ever. And with increasing competition and increasing cost per click prices, that's only going to get worse and get harder to do. So yeah, that I think is the background and the reality of where we are. Moving on to the next slide, I think it's important to kind of draw some parallels, because again, whenever people come in and look at PPC advertising, I think a lot of them think of Google primarily, because I think they were the fundamental ones that kind of started with PPC advertising. Amazon works very differently, and the key difference is that Amazon's paid advertising, as I said, will stimulate the organic performance by increasing visibility and driving rate of sale. With Google, that doesn't happen. Google, you can spend however much you want on the sponsored ads. It doesn't improve your organic position. You have to do a completely different set of activities to improve yourself organically there. And it's this understanding the symbiotic relationship between these two parts within Amazon. The advertising and the SEO is really critical to a successful advertising strategy. If we move on to the next slide, one of the things that I think really demonstrates this and illustrates it is the share of voice reports that we pull from DataHawk. We see this time and time again, where increasingly the highest share of paid share of voice brands are leveraging that to drive their organic share of voice. And if you look at it over time, you see this trend really proving through, and you can see that it's those that are investing in sponsored brand advertising that are winning more and more organically. Okay,
so how do you deliver improved profitability? Do you focus on ACOS on ROAS?
I think ACOS and ROAS are really important metrics, and those are the ones that Amazon will definitely have those are the ones that are published and tracked very carefully in Amazon. We do use them, and we use those to kind of optimize the advertising campaigns. But there's another metric that we look at that I feel is a much better one at judging the performance of your overall strategy. If we move on to the next slide, I've kind of built out the formula. We refer to this as TACS. The idea is ACOS, but instead of just looking at attributed revenue, you're looking at total. So TACS measures the impact of advertising on all sales revenue, not simply the attributed advertising revenue, which is what ACOS does. And the formula, as you can see here, is effectively advertising spend divided by total revenue, organic plus paid. And I appreciate these can sound sort of counterintuitive, but I think it's really key to maximizing profitability on Amazon. TACS essentially is a blended metric, so it's a critical point if you want to measure and maximize your impact, the impact of your advertising on your organic sales as well as directly attributed advertising revenue.
Okay, yeah, very clear. So what is key to making your advertising successful on Amazon though?
I think really it's understanding how the consumer interacts and works in the Amazon ecosystem, and understanding it's actually very different from other e-commerce websites. If we move on to the next slide, Amazon customers buy, but they don't shop. And this is there's a key distinction here. That if you think about it, the navigation through a traditional website is hierarchical generally. On Amazon, we know that 90% of navigation starts in the search bar. And that means that there is only one other site essentially that works that way, which is Google. So Amazon has been utilized more as a search engine for products than as a retail site. And I think that's kind of fundamental to understanding everything that comes from that, all the data and everything. You need to interpret it with that, and the impact that that can have on your sales. If we move on to the next slide, I think one of the things that we measure this over numerous seller accounts, numerous categories, and generally what we can see is that if you look at the organic performance, if you look at the top 4 organic position, you can generate between 60 and 70% more sales than you do in the second row of organic sales. So that's a difference between, say, having a position 5 and a position 3 or 4. And so to win on Amazon, you really need to generate a number of, you need to push your organic listings up into this top 4 position. That is kind of really critical. And you need to understand that this is the game board that you're playing with. This is where it's happening. All your tactics need to be focused on winning the customer here. And the key thing here is understand that what matters to the consumer and what matters to Amazon. Because the other part, I feel there's a lot of people think of it like, okay, if I drop my price, my sales will increase. And that's not necessarily true. To win, what you actually need to do is generate more commission revenue for Amazon than your competition. And we know this is true. And if you look through it, you'll see more and more results where higher priced items are actually outperforming lower priced ones. And it's a crucial divergence, I think, from the traditional PPC advertising that you'll see somewhere like Google, where the highest bid generally wins. In Amazon, the highest bid doesn't necessarily win because Amazon makes money from more than just the bid. Maximizing revenue for Amazon and customer satisfaction are key criteria that Amazon leans on when it judges who it's going to give the winning bid to. So if you perform better in terms of those 2 things, generating revenue for Amazon and fulfilling the customer satisfaction, you can actually bid less than your competition and still win at the PPC and outperform them organically as well. And so I think that is crucial to the success on Amazon. And fundamental to that, I think, moving on to the last slide, is that data is crucial to understanding what works for you and what doesn't work. Understanding that, answering the why things happen is crucial. So you need to analyze the data and understand where you win and lose customers on those search results pages in particular. And winning on Amazon fundamentally is all about understanding how the customer makes decisions. And I think whoever does that best wins.
Cool, great. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for everyone. So it's 6:50 and the time is up. I don't know if you have a few questions. Milana, I don't know if you can see the questions or not. Or Nuja. If we don't have an answer, I guess not. But thank you everyone for your participation. Reda, Zamir, thank you very much for being a speaker here. I know the time was very short, but it was very insightful. For the audience, there's a new panel coming up, which is how to find the best keywords for your Amazon product, which is starting pretty much right now. So feel free to join that. And other than that, you have your whole contact information on the screen. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Reda, to Zamir, or to myself. We'll be happy to answer questions. So thank you very much and see you next time.
Thank you. Good luck for the rest. Bye-bye.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.